Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has announced that she's going to resign from Congress. I don't like this at all. I like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Don't agree with her on everything, but for the most part, she's actually one of the only representatives that we have that's going against the establishment, going against the swamp. I believe she was a balancing force to the Republican Party. You know, representatives like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, Justin Amash, they're at least some type of opposing force to the rank and file team playing Republicans. You know, the ones that just kind of go along, you know, they'll call out all the unconstitutional things that the Democrats do, but as soon as a Republican administration's in, they support all of the unconstitutional things. And, you know, Trump has really done Marjorie Taylor Greene dirty. Greene has been one of the only Republicans that endorsed Trump from the beginning. You know, even when you had all the never Trumpers, all the ones that support Trump now, you know, the Lindsey Grahams, the Ben Shapiro, all these other, I know Ben Shapiro's a commentator, but, you know, in the beginning, Ben Shapiro was very anti-Trump. All these never Trumpers, now you're seeing during Trump 2.0, all of the never Trumpers are way more aligned with Trump. And people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're the ones that are on the outs. You know, all the ones that have been America first the whole time. Those are the ones that are really going against Trump this time. Even Hillary Clinton. Look, I'm going to play this clip. Now, here's Hillary Clinton. This is back in August, talking about how she's, you know, in favor of a lot of Donald Trump's foreign policy. Here, listen, I'll play the clip.
I actually was encouraged by the events of the last several months. First of all, the NATO commitment by individual member states to increase their defense spending is very welcome. It's something that prior administrations have certainly sought, and I think it's great that we are seeing these commitments that now have to be followed through on.
Hillary went on to mention that she thinks there's a noticeable difference between now and between Trump's first term as president.
There is beginning to be a better understanding, both by the president and the people around him, as well as by the leaders of our European allies, that there can be common ground amongst us. And the kind of dismissiveness that we saw in the first Trump administration has been replaced by a much more obvious working relationship to the good of European security, transatlantic security, and hopefully Ukrainian security.
So Trump is losing his American first base, like MTG, Thomas Massey, but he's gaining the support and praise of Hillary Clinton. Another signal to the people that refuse to be critical of Trump that he's not putting America first. He tricked you. Stop believing all of his bullshit. Everybody keeps defending him. Say, oh, just give it time. Just give it time. We've been giving people time. They have had time. And instead of following through on his American first agenda, he's continuing the same agenda that the U.S. has been pushing for decades. That's what, did you just hear Hillary Clinton? He's getting things done that they've been trying to get done for decades, but he's able to get them done with NATO and all of this transatlantic stuff. You know, supporting Israel, supporting Ukraine. He was supposed to get in and end the Ukraine-Russia war. Now, there's been some talks recently, some negotiations that they're doing. It doesn't matter. This is all part of it. See, Trump is the controlled opposition of the globalist. He's attacking the real principled American first proponents. He's going after Marjorie Taylor Greene, calling her a lunatic, threatening to support an opponent against her in the primary next year, which is one of the reasons why she's saying that she stepped down. You know, here in Kentucky, he's going after Thomas Massey, and he's endorsing this guy, Ed Galrine, who's going to be your typical cookie-cutter, big government Republican. You know, and Ed Gallery, his campaign's already received millions of dollars from Miriam Adelson. She's a big Republican donor who even Donald Trump has joked loves Israel more than America. And Gowron's pushing this whole, I'm running with Donald Trump because he needs more allies in D.C. Hey, you know what, Ed? It's all right. I think Donald Trump has all the help that he needs to support Ukraine, support Israel, support Saudi Arabia, every other country but America. He's got enough help in D.C. to help continue spending and borrowing our country into debt slavery. And now Trump has run off one of the only reps that really was putting America first. It's very discouraging. I understand her frustration, and, she thinks that she can do greater good elsewhere. But losing a seat in the House, that's a big position to lose. Getting good representatives into office is hard, and, it's going to be difficult to replace her. I'm sure it's going to be probably some typical Republican insider or somebody else that's going to go along and rubber stamp everything. If we don't have MTG there right now, that was there supporting Massey with this, with the Epstein files release bill. And not that maybe nothing even comes of that. But the thing is, Trump campaigned on that we were going to get all the inside information. And, if we don't have MTG there in the Congress, do we get that bill? Do we get it through? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I just wish she was staying in. And then it makes you wonder, is she being threatened, coerced? I don't know. She says, I read her statement. I'm going to read some of her statement from X. She says that she's received all sorts of threats over the years, and I'm sure that's true. I can't even imagine what some of our representatives deal with, on both sides. So I can't imagine what they actually go through, but I just, she's been in the fight so long, and, I just really hate to see her leave and potentially be replaced by somebody from the status quo. So here, I'm going to read some of her, this was her statement from X. So it says, I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C. and never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas, or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest. The spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents must work in order to simply survive. And there's several pages on there, and I would encourage everybody to go read it because it's worth reading. But she finishes up here. She says, if I'm cast aside by MAGA Inc. and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and elite donor class that can't even relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plan to save the world or insane 4D chess game being played. And see, that's what I keep telling all the people with Trump derangement syndrome on the right. They're like, oh yeah, he's doing that. And you heard the same argument during his first administration. They want to believe. They want so badly to believe in what he's telling them and that they haven't been fooled. But you have been. Okay, look, he's in on it. He's one of them. He's selling us out. Stop defending him and start trying to hold them accountable. But she goes on to finish. She says, when the common American people finally realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country. And instead, the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington. Then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. You know, and I don't know what she's going to do. I imagine she'll still continue to be involved in politics in some form. You know, she's become too big of a figure to just go away. Ron Paul still does his Liberty Report podcast, which I encourage everyone to listen to. Ron Paul is the best congressman that we've had in decades. He's the one that really kind of shook me out of my political apathy and woke me up to what was going on, and I've become a staunch, you know, supporter of libertarian values and constitutional principles, and I've learned a lot listening to that guy. So everybody needs to go check out Ron Paul, but hopefully, you know, Marjorie Greene will do something similar to that and take some kind of role in advocating for freedom, advocating for American first policies. But at the end of the day, you know, it always hurts to lose an actual seat, an actual representative in Congress. So, like I said, hopefully we can get somebody just as good in there to replace her. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, thank you for your service.